Now, two-time Oscar winner Gene Hackman, along with his wife, Betsy Arakawa, have been found dead in their home in the U.S. state of New Mexico. The couple died along with their dog. Now, there's no immediate indication of foul play, but there is an investigation that's underway. In the meantime, I'm joined on the set by our culture editor, Eve Jackson, to take a closer look at the incredible career of Gene Hackman. Hi, Eve. Talk us through the highlights of this great actor.
Well, Gene Hackman, he had a career spanning over 50 years, half a century, and a really impressive filmography. He was known for his raw charisma and ability to embody very complex characters who were often tough but always deeply human. Now, 2 Oscars, 5 Golden Globes. He was an icon of cinema. He was an actor capable of really playing anything. Here he is talking back in 2003 about how much he loved acting.
I think that's all I ever wanted to do. So few people ever get what they really want in life. You give up a lot in terms of family, and I think you're always in North Africa or Spain or someplace. But it's a make-believe world, and as I say, it's what I wanted to do as a child, and I fulfilled a lot of my dreams.
There we go, Gene Hackman speaking more than 20 years ago. Now, he may not have had the looks of Paul Newman or Robert Redford, but it really was his everyman quality that ultimately became his greatest asset. Francis Ford Coppola directed him back in 1974 in The Conversation. That was a film about the Watergate scandal. And he said of him, Hackman was perfect for the role because he had a completely ordinary look.
And dozens of roles, but there's really one part that really propelled him to the top.
Yes, without a doubt. The French Connection by William Friedkin in 1971. He played a detective called Popeye Doyle. Now, he delivered a masterful performance that changed how we see police officers, how they're portrayed on screen. Inspector Doyle, he was imperfect, he was angry, and he was ready really to do anything to catch a criminal. It was an intense, nerve-wracking role that won him the Oscar for Best Actor back that year. And of course, the film is famous for its legendary car chase through the streets of New York. Let's remind ourselves of that film.
All right, Popeye's here. Get your hands on your heads. Get off the bar and get on the wall. What's my name?
Popeye Doyle. If he doesn't like you, he'll take you apart. And it's all perfectly legal, because Doyle fights dirty.
You want to take a ride there, fat man?
And plays rough.
Anybody want a milkshake?
Doyle is bad news, but he's a good cop.
We're going now. Bye.
How many times have I been downhearted, looked up and saw him smiling like a shining dime? Yeah.
All right, of course, his career didn't stop there. What else was he famous for?
Well, he really knew how to reinvent himself, Gene. He played the ruthless sheriff in Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. That was a role that earned him his 2nd Oscar back in 1992. Of course, he'll always be remembered as the villain Lex Luthor in the Superman films opposite Christopher Reeve. But he did appear in more than 80 films in total. He starred with Will Smith in Enemy of the State in 1998. Here he is talking about his role at the movie premiere back then.
I can't do a lot of these kind of films, you know. You only have so much energy, and it takes a lot of energy to do these. So I would prefer to do more character-driven pieces that are more suited to my age and my physique.
So he has been out of the limelight for a while. His last major role was in 2001 in the Royal Tenenbaums, where he showcased all of his talent. He played the patriarch of a wealthy but very dysfunctional family. After that, he chose to retire very quietly away from Hollywood. But here's the director, Wes Anderson, talking about directing Gene Hackman in that film.
He's a really intense person, and he's intimidating. And he's also kind of a legend, and you know, he's fiery. So it's more of a, there's a lot more work that goes into that, but he's exciting. That's the main thing, is that, you know, he's always surprising you with what he's doing, and he's challenging you kind of all the time. So, you know, it's very different from the other actors.
There we go, very young Wes Anderson talking back in 2001 about working and directing Gene Hackman. Now, Gene Hackman, he was a father of 3. He was married twice, and he was found dead earlier today with his second wife, Betsy Arakawa, at their home in New Mexico. Just a reminder, that cause of death is still unknown, although they believe that there was no foul play involved. An investigation is underway.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Very unusual circumstances. Eve, thank you so much for that. Eve Jackson, our culture editor, they're talking about the incredible life and work of Gene Hackman. And don't forget, if you want to get the very latest on any of the many culture stories that Eve and her team are covering for you on our website, it's the best place to go, France24.com. Be sure to look for the show Arts24. Also on the website, you can find all the very latest of all the stories we're covering for you throughout the day here on France 24.